everyone.
Hey, Matt.
Good
Nicolas and
morning.
Lena, nice to see you both.
Nice to see you. Nice to be back.
Absolutely.
Labor Day's over. I hope everyone's had a great summer.
Very good.
Vacation, time for beach, time for sun, and is it not the case? No.
No one ever has said to me the summer was too long.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd say that.
Agree. Big agree.
So this is the VCommerce podcast. Everyone, if you're tuned in, thank you very much. And one of our topics today is going to be about avatars and AI. And I saw a cool man sold his likeness to TikTok for $750 and already has seller remorse because his friends and family are seeing his avatar or his artificial being everywhere. So my question to you both is, he sold it for $750. What would it be? What would the number be for you to sell your likeness to anyone in the universe?
Lena, do you have an answer for that?
I think that I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I would dip my toe in that water of selling. It's like, it feels like selling your soul to me. So I don't know if I have a price on my likeness right now. Like, I might still get famous, you know.
NFT it or something, right?
Yeah, right. That's a thing of the past, I feel. Yeah, but what's yours? What's yours? Would you sell it?
Oh, maybe I'll let you know at the end of this. All right. Well, let's get started. All right, everybody. This is Nico with eStreamly, the company that you live stream and shoppable video on your site, social media, email, SMS, wherever you are. Your video is shoppable. Excited to be here. We are back. Yes, the summer was over. I mean, not over yet, but it's been over for us at least. Content break was amazing. We have a full docket for you today. But more interesting is make sure you tune in to the chain. Follow us, subscribe, and also make your comment. We are live today, so we are looking forward to hearing where you're calling from and where you are. Matt is with me with E6 Marketing, the company get you on QVC and HSN, and also forget the fantastic trade show that happened across the US and actually also in the UK, if I'm correct. So they were just closing on Etail Boston, so Etail East, that happened last week. So we are going to learn a lot about this. But before we go there, Matt, why don't you get started with the first story? Sounds like we're going to be talking.
So again,
right?
Thank you very much for tuning into the VCommerce podcast. We're here each week live at 11 a.m. Eastern, talking all things video commerce. We talk about TikTok, we talk about Instagram, your own websites, everything that has to do with video commerce. We dive into. We normally take 2 or 3 hot topics of the week, and we kind of highlight those and give you our opinions and what we've learned about it and what we think it's going to be in the video commerce space. But the first thing we wanted to talk about was AI generated content, and this was a that we talked about before our summer break, and how AI was kind of taking over everywhere. University 101. He spent a lot of his free time just diving into all the newness and all the changing and the development of artificial intelligence and how it's affecting live selling and live commerce. But Lena, you had a great topic that you brought up in our pre-prod meeting about what AI means moving forward, in your opinion, with live selling.
Yes, 100%. So I feel like, drop something in the chat if you've heard of Lil Michaela. She is all the rage on TikTok, and she's taking the following by storm. But do you know what? Her content, she's entirely AI-generated persona. Why? Because brands are feeling like they don't have enough content, they don't have enough UGC. And at which case do we kind of draw the line on ethical versus not so ethical, where we're having AI personas, AI full personal profiles. You know, Nico just showed us a crazy video of someone talking and selling an AI product on completely AI generated. And where do we draw the line? Because such a big conversation and topic at Etail Boston was transparent. Customers really want to hear from is real people. So is it really fooling people? Is it smart? What do we think, guys? Matt, do you have a thought on that? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not so into it right now.
Well, as many things happen in this video commerce space and how quickly it changes, Nicholas knows that I'm very opposed to sudden and violent change, still in its infancy stages. But I think trust with brands, with their customers, are of utmost importance. And I think there's a little bit of deception, no matter how much is created, is saying, yes, this is an avatar or this is not a person. Between the consumer perception involved with it, that bothers me. And like I said, I think trust is just such a paramount fundamental between brands and their customers. I think it's a little deceptive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, why don't we flip the opposite angle, right? So if you look at, again, what's happening in China, I know we often talk about this, China, and are they really at the front of everything? We don't know. But the avatar market is going to generate around $37 billion. It's going to be a $37 billion market by 2030. There's already 100,000 digital humans that are across industry that are already selling, and with brand reporting cost reduction as up to 80%. And then some of them even talking about conversion increase. We remember, Matt, we were talking about that a couple of months ago, about this guy who was doing a stream, couple hour stream, like two guys. They decided to do the avatar and the avatar. But what I think is interesting right now, where avatar is being used mostly in China specifically, is during those off hours, right? So you might be streaming during 6 to 10, and then after 10, like normally you're not streaming anymore, but then guess what? The avatar is taking over. I think that is a kind of an interesting use case. But also, I think the important is to be transparent, and I think consumers are willing to engage with AI if they know it's AI. And I think if you say, hey, generated with AI, or it's having an AI logo somewhere, then it changes the perception. You're interacting with AI, and so you make a conscious choice about do I want to listen or not. The thing I would like to say, and this is significantly, because obviously we're in the video space and we talk about authenticity. On the other end, I think the consumer want to consume AI, and the way I'm drawing this conclusion is, recently we had a chat on our website, and plain chat, nothing really fancy, was served by humans, myself and the team, and we had barely a chat a month. I went to a conference, talked to someone, and they were telling me about this AI chatbot they have trained on your data and how it increased significantly their sales. So I tried the same thing. I said, well, what if I were to train a chatbot on Extremely and put it on one chat a day? So what does it mean? It means that people before did not want to engage with a real person, or maybe didn't want to bother asking their question to a real person. But when it's AI, doesn't matter. I'm willing to a world of creation and consuming content. There will be the people that don't want to get there. But the reality is, I think people are very comfortable with engaging with AI in a way, if they know it is, because in a way they just know that maybe I get right to a point and there will be no BS. So I don't know.
That I completely think that's such a good point, because it's like, where is the line of comfortability with AI? Where do we feel this is AI generated, you do have an air of apprehension initially. But if you are upfront, we are more likely to generate with an AI influencer. And I think that the efficiency of it becomes a constant battle. And that was where's the efficiency AI humanity guidelines? We don't have them yet. We're all setting this unique precedent for ourselves, but we all need to operate at a higher scale than we previously were, because if you're not, you're technically falling behind from the people who are operating at that scale using the AI to their advantage. So I think that there will be a lot of drawing lines in the sand to come in the next 3 to 6 months, especially as we see retailers raising prices. We're going to need to save money somewhere. And will the retailers absorb the prices? Will the consumer absorb the prices? We have to kind of find that balance. So I'm interested to see where the trajectory of that goes, because we need to save money.
As I said, as I kind of teased, learning so much over the summer because it's so ever changing. Nicholas and I talked to a very prominent brand over the summer, and we talked about their experience on TikTok Shop. And I don't want to tease the story or tease the podcast that we're going to release in a couple weeks, but this brand talked about having 15 people as influencers and rotating only 15 people over a 24/7 platform. And I said, how do you manage that? And he said, well, it's live. So if they have to get up and go to the bathroom or get up and grab something to eat or go drink, his audience understands and is more engaged because they know it's live. And that blew me away. I'm like, I've never seen that where someone would
they'll just
that walk out of the room. Literally.
Okay, see you guys later. Yeah. How do we go?
Cat is moving around.
So now, again, I admit that it's so ever changing and so it's so fast. Maybe this whole thing will improve itself where it doesn't bother me as much. But today, this brand was saying he thinks authenticity is the most important thing. He doesn't mind if someone gets up and comes back. It's all about engagement. I love that. I love that because that builds trust in my mind.
Having to stand up because the guy is at the door ringing for signing the FedEx thing, or you need to go to the restroom, or do those things, or the cat is just walking in past from the camera. Where you come from, Matt, you come from a scripted environment into a studio, sealed and concealed, where no one can do anything except applause when the applause sign comes in, right? So, and that may be also just a shift in how to consume. And maybe younger generation will be just as fine as consuming AI as we are with seeing the cat moving in front of the cameras.
Well, that's really where those 15 or those 9 to 12-year-old girls who are they're the ones that we'll have to figure out how to support them.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out how to support you, Lena, and anyone in their 20s. I think you're so savvy with all this. I don't know how to grab your attention. So maybe this is, if you're not bothered by it, Lena, then we should all be open to the idea that this is where it's moving.
It's gonna be an interesting dynamic shift, and I think that it's where will the point where I'm bothered by it be? And I think that I just want to go back to Nicholas. It's such a strong point. We had a demonstration at Etail that was someone, Brian Galata from Zeals and Omakaze AI. They trained the chatbot to human training. So they injected all the human elements, put all of salesperson, if you will. And with that New York style salesperson, they said, sell me a pen. And in that, it live went back and forth with the customer and ultimately shifted persona to sell them to best sell them the pen in any way possible, and to take all those key shifts and to kind of work with the customer. So if that is going to result in ROI without the human power behind it, where maybe like someone like Nicholas can't just go back and forth as a salesperson and put on the salesperson pants, that could be more efficient and more beneficial than just having the people behind the chatbot. And I think that is going to be an interesting change.
Yeah, Matt, sell me this pen. Well, why don't we move to the next storyline with TikTok? And I think, guess what? We've been 6 weeks without talking. We got to talk, right?
So over the summer, I think in July, very recently, they updated their community guidelines. TikTok Shop updated their community guidelines, and it will reduce the visibility of content to users that purchase the products off platform. So what does that mean? I think it means for TikTok Shop tool, TikTok wants you to buy the product from TikTok Shop, which is not a shocker or not a surprise. But I think until this point, many brands got involved with TikTok Shop because it was so hot and so current, and it drove their sales elsewhere. So it was a marketing platform to get them to go somewhere else and buy the product. So that's an interesting thing. So I know it's not shop, but it's a little bit different, say, than like Google, who promotes the opportunity to shop elsewhere. So, I mean, Nicholas, what do you think about TikTok Shop kind of drawing the line with this?
I mean, TikTok, I think we've talked about it. It's an e-com company. So as an e-com company, it's, maybe think it's a social media company, but they have all the leverage they can to make it happen. They have the audience. They have the captive audience. They know what you like, how you like it. They know how to push an ad to you. They know all those things. Why they want to send that over? Because that's how they make money, right? Yes, they make money on the ad, but they also make money on the transaction itself.
And they're also majorly subsidizing some of these transactions, with the amount of discounts that they're offering on TikTok Shop itself. So I think that like the pendulum, we're always talking about the pendulum swinging, like the shift of the customer. And I think that TikTok is realizing that there's more money to be made if they keep people in the app at all times. And they're also kind of doing a unique element with that TikTok Shop where they're incentivizing creators. Their creator incentivization program is unlike any other social media platform in the app and constantly using and coming back to the app.
I agree. Comp pricing is paramount. If your product is less expensive on TikTok Shop than anywhere else, then if the customer does go somewhere else, they're going to come back and buy your product off TikTok Shop. Now, the only platform that you can't really compete with is Amazon. Amazon's got the price. All their sales are going to Amazon.
Matt, remember the conversation we had the other day with the gentleman and what we are going to release at the podcast. He said clearly, channel TikTok is for pricing, Amazon is for fast delivery, and then the other, which is his own channel, like the traditional e-commerce, is for education. So, you're saying Amazon pricing. I think that is not quite the case.
You should see some of the discounts that they're offering on the TikTok Shop. I swear you could buy things for cents on the dollar. It's really and people behind the curtain are saying that TikTok Shop is incentivizing these smaller businesses with great discounts. So they're if you want something tried and true, you go to Amazon. Cheap and maybe like a month later. That is TikTok.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that. It's not Temu like, right? I think it's more like 7 days. 6.
It depends on where it's coming from, right? But it is more of like 10 days for me personally.
Yeah.
What I got like the sticky, the stitchy. That it's like they have great products that are only on TikTok Shop.
There you go.
Too, so very cool.
All right. Well, actually, talking about TikTok, e-com, delivery, and all that. So you came back from Etail from last week. What were the big topic? Were people talking AI? I'm assuming were they talking about crypto as well? Like, what's What's the thing?
So you know that AI is what everyone loves to talk about every time, but it's actually so crazy to see that we're talking about, this is what Gen AI is, this is how we're using it, and now we're seeing this is how we're making money using these AI tools, and this is how we're maybe not doing it as well with these AI tools. And I think that that kind of shift has been really, really powerful for retailers, technology innovators, and brands alike to see how people are saving money, how people are saving time is the cross-departmental function and the cross-departmental communication. I think that there has to be more buy-in across departments, like marketing and finance need to get along better than ever along those lines, because if you can't prove the worth, we might not want to be investing in that specific technology. And then, just like the last major theme where you said it before, I know it's your favorite topic, but some of the video commerce elements, I think that we, with the amount of content that people are really requesting. And with that, you're seeing people have creators on retainer too, Matt, which I think is really interesting, where they're saying, we'll pay creators on retainer $1,000, $5,000 a month to $5,000 a month, and you will create X, Y, and Z rather than just going outbound. And I think that like finding more of a process within could use technology to really help keep up with the content needs of the consumer. So those were the big themes.
You're making such a great point, and this is something Matt, I've been telling you for the whole year. The shift I've seen is really that, right? Like, if you look at marketing folks, most of them are investing into figuring to have like really clear process and established way of acquiring content. I think it's I think what you're making, Lena, is such a great point. And the underlying issue that I've been hearing as well, and I don't know if that people were talking about this at Etail, is the biggest challenge that and then produce more content, but the reality is the content itself is getting less and less engagement because there are so much more out there, and the quality is so much higher than the consumer attention spends as much to get the same amount of engagement. And so you're into that loop of creating, and each piece of content is actually having a negative ROI over time, or not negative, but a declining ROI over time. So I just found these dynamics to be fascinating.
Yes, 100%. And I think that springtime, we will see the gap widen with who can keep up with the content that can keep people engaged.
Yeah, and that's kind of actually this is the
Oh, I can't hear you as well anymore, Nicholas, I think.
Yeah, I was saying this is kind of the big thesis for us at Etail, where the content doesn't have to be living just in one place. It should be living everywhere. How to use it into your marketing channel, your email, your SMS, your website. How do you create live? I mean, I think now people have content everywhere. Anyway, it's been a fantastic story. Thank you everyone for being here. We are here every Friday, and Lena is back with us also. Like not every Friday, but like once a month. Maybe she wants to come more often. We'll see about that. But guys, again, our beach
fun. Staying safe from this hurricane, right? A big wave. So I'm gonna go watch some surfers later.
You're gonna be surfing too, or?
No, I'm more of a looker. So.
It is the last weekend before Labor Day weekend, so hopefully everyone gets out there and enjoys it.
All right. Well, we will see you then next weekend. Bye, everyone.